Yep. This is Outside Rock and Roll. Welcome to the show. My name is Jimmy Jude, and I'm here today with my good pal, my right-hand man, the founder of the Wood Floors. Introduce yourself, brother man.
Hey, this is Chris Howe, and we are so glad you have chosen to take this journey with us. We're talking about life, love, music, and all things that make us tick. So buckle up.
That's right. And we're here today. We're going to talk to you, as always, about the good stuff, the bad stuff, the in-between stuff. Nothing too taboo for me. Nothing too taboo for you. Whoop-de-doo, motherfucker. Let's do this and look at it from the inside out. Don't forget that people matter. Don't forget everybody's got a mother, brother, sister, father. Don't forget everybody's a friend. And don't forget to tip your bartender. Let's rock, let's roll, and let's get with it without further ado. Outside rock and roll.
All right, Ken. Thanks for joining me today. This in the studio with myself and James, Jimmy, Jude is going to be dialing in. Thank you, Tom. And he's going to probably have some questions too, hopefully. We've done this once already, but we forgot to record it. So,
Awesome rehearsal.
So we're going to probably do this all wrong the second time. But anyway, Ken.
Yes?
Thank you.
You know, it's a pleasure to be here, and let's do exactly what Jimmy says and talk about all the cool stuff that we can. Nothing is taboo.
No
friend.
taboo here. So,
no taboo.
So let's talk
Let
about.
it rip.
Let's talk about your musical influences. Who's your favorite band?
I got several now that I've grown up. You know, now that I'm mature, I still love Steely Dan. You know, they're right up there. Dire Straits, one of my favorites.
Hold on, let's take them one at a time. Steely Dan, why?
I like that kind of music. You know, it's adult music.
What kind of music?
You know, with the keyboards and the, you know, it's not jazz, but it's sort of, you know, it just seems like intelligent music to me. You know, and you get the guys that put it together, you know, had a special musical knowledge. Like they knew that, you know, probably like Juilliard or some damn, you know, whether they teach you, oh, yes, this is the structure of the song. This is the way it's going to be done. And it's done that way. And then they add their own little flares. And those two guys, you know, and whoever they end up playing with all the time, you know, they're
Fagan and Becker.
That's right.
Favorite Steely Dan album?
I like The Royal Scam.
Okay.
You know, and that came out right around the time I was in the Army, too.
All right.
Yeah, listened to that one a lot. And Asia you know, that one came out just a few years after that. You know.
So Dire Straits. Why?
Yeah. I like the early stuff when it was just, you know, seemed like it was a quiet trio or a quartet. And then as the band got bigger and I got the chance to see them live, I like Mark Knopfler, good songwriter, performer, good musicians. And even now I Mark Knopfler's solo stuff I like.
Even now,
much.
Who sang
Even
it?
now. The only one that comes to mind is Bob Seger. Even now is all no.
Barry Manilow.
Oh, okay. Shit. Barry, I am so sorry. You know what?
It's funny because I mentioned Barry Manilow in our little pilot podcast, so it was a good segue.
Saw him live, man. Great show.
So
right here in Manchester.
Myself, I was there as well. I took my mom.
I was with Nancy's mom.
There you go. Nancy's mom has got it
a
going
mom
on.
fest. Oh,
yeah, she's got it going on.
Oh, that's why we sat together.
So, other favorite bands?
Nowadays, you know who I started listening to is the Black Keys.
Okay.
Okay, and it's pretty good because some people say, "Oh, the Black Keys," and I'm like, I don't know, I still like it. I don't want to be talked out of it. You know, I've been talked out of bands before. You know that I liked, and then all of a sudden somebody said, "Oh man,
give me an example."
I'm gonna get myself in trouble here.
Do it.
Nickelback.
Oh God.
I used to like Nickelback, and same reaction, right?
I'm so glad you got talked out of it.
Yeah, well, maybe they set me on the
I would have
on the
never
right
let
path.
you drum with me.
I had kept it a secret though, you know, and I would have never let people know, but and I still
You should like what you like.
Yeah, I do harbor still always have a place in my record collection, but it's just not a very big place.
All right, so who else?
See, nowadays I'm listening to all kinds of different stuff. The band around here that I'm hearing is I listen to The River a lot, okay, when I'm not listening to music, talk shows and stuff like that.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug. But a band called Lord Huron.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
Have you ever heard? Well,
I have.
I've heard only the stuff that they play on the radio, so because I don't have any of their stuff yet. But that's the style of music that I like now.
So take me back to how I knew you before we met. But the one band you haven't talked about that's of historical value is Blue Oyster Cult.
Yes, the amazing Blue Oyster Cult. Yeah, I got into them way too much, Luckily, I mean, they'll always be my favorite band, but, it's been like 25 years since I've really put some solid music that I like. Most of the time I listen to their pre-90s stuff,
And I can't get into them. I like the hits, which is probably what you don't like, but I like Don't Fear the Reaper with more cowbell. I like Burning for You. I like Joan Crawford. I like Godzilla. I like those are I like the Mirrors album.
Yeah.
So I like the tepid Blue Oyster Cult. What am I missing with the Blue Oyster Cult that you like? Which is probably Secret Treaties and the early stuff.
Yeah, most of that stuff. They put out that double live album. I think it was in '74. On Your Feet or On Your Knees. It was just full of good, clean, solid rock and roll, start to finish, double album, and that's when I really got hooked on him.
And you've seen him live?
Yeah, more than I like to admit, and I can't believe my wife used to follow me around to those shows because when we were still in our courtship period,
Believe me, your wife still follows you around.
Yeah, but different reasons now. But she used to go to those shows, and she was like one of the only chicks there because it was. You ever see the crowd at a Blue Oyster Cult show? There's probably 5 chicks out of 5,000.
Okay.
Because it's a guy band, it's a dude band. There's not a whole bunch of chicks that are going, oh, that's Buck Darver, the guitar player. Isn't he cute? Blah, blah, blah. I want to sleep with him. Nobody does that, with Blue Oyster Cult. The lyrics are so screwed up that you can't really make out what they mean by it, and it could have several different meanings. So I like that. And I like the fact that they got that symbol thing.
So give me for when I end this, and the person you can hear in the background, which I would have on this other camera, but I'm expecting a call-in guest. The person you can hear in the background is Tom Cody, who's also a member of the Wood Floors and a good friend. More than that, as Ken is
a great friend.
Yeah,
he's a guy that won tickets on the damn radio to go see a Blue Oyster Cult show.
So friends first, people matter first, and then shared influences or things we like to do secondary. So that's who you can hear chirping in the background.
Not very much.
Oh, this is a mic that'll pick it all up. So yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, really, yeah. So you're live. So give me one Blue Oyster Cult song that I'm going to listen to after the podcast that I may not know that's going to get me diving into their discography.
Okay, I'll give you one. I could give you 12, but I'll give you one.
Give me one.
It's off the Spectres album.
Okay.
The song is called I Love the Night.
I Love the Night.
It's a song about vampires.
It's not just for me, folks. It's for you, too. That's the challenge. If you're not a BOC fan, I Love the Night is going to convert you.
Yeah, it's the instrument. Again, it's sung by Buck Darver, who's been getting the vocals on most of their better songs. But he does a great job with it, and the instrumentation is awesome, and it's well written. To be honest with you, I think I don't know who wrote the song.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward to. We won't get into Piehole. We won't get into how we met, because that's a story probably deserving of its own episode with Tom mic'd up in headphones and all that too. So we'll save that for whatever episode we go back into the past. But let's go back into how we started playing original music together. What's your recollection of that? How did that transform? And for historical value, we played a cover band, not out publicly. Ken has many cover bands. Redline, who else?
Who knows what?
Who knows what? How could I forget?
Frankie and the No Cone.
Frankie and the No Tones. Who knows what? Redline. So we played, myself, Ken, Tom, and Tim played in a cover band in my basement every single Monday night. It was just about every single Monday. If it wasn't Monday, we would change days, but there were rarely times we missed weeks. So how did we transition to original music?
I don't know. The way I remembered it happening was as Tim's health started to get worse and he wasn't as active with the band anymore. We tried to keep the cover thing going for a while, but I remember just kind of morphing into when you brought out Feel the He had been writing for years. He had Feel the Revolution came out. Well, it didn't come out, but you gave me that double to listen to, and it's a great deal of material on there. And I'd only scratched the surface on what you have for material. And I so far it was just going well. I think we were just starting to get me and Tom. We're the older guys, so maybe we don't have that same amount of energy and same musical acumen there. But we're just a damn rhythm section. So and what we got a good chance to do was to perform some stuff that we didn't even know, and maybe add our own little twist to it. I know you were doing most of the Wood Floors recordings on your own.
Right.
So now you're getting
the same with Eric Shiner.
Oh yeah, I mean, that we try to maintain that spirit, but it's always going to come across a little bit different. And then we stuck with it pretty good, and then COVID came and just kind of pulled the rug out from under us, I think. And then I don't know, other stuff started to happen. Things in our lives started to change, and we got away from it a little bit. So I think the fact that the three of us are in the same room right now is a damn good start to, a foundation to lay down, a possible Wood Floors, another release would be great.
Two of us never left the room.
Totally agree. Tom is commenting. I think he wanted to be on this. He was adamant he didn't want to be on it. But once I told him this mic picks him up, he seems to want to be on the show. So maybe if we take a break or when Jimmy calls in, we'll get Tom in.
I just soon chirp.
So yeah, he wants to chirp. And we'll give a little picture of that chirping bird for you guys. Oh man. So
thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
They love you outside. Shut that window. You can hear the crowd. Come on.
So Feel the Revolution was a 2 CD, 25 songs each, I believe, retrospective of the Wood Floors from 2003 when we started the band up until 2016, I believe. 2016 is when we started playing. And you knew Tim Sheritz from Redline.
Right.
So you suggested, why don't we get Tim in? Great lead player. So it filled out the sound for live shows. And we ended up playing, which I think was probably our favorite gig of the Tim era, because I say the Tim era because we were playing mainly the Feel the Revolution. We were playing a retrospective of songs from the past. I wasn't writing especially new stuff then. That changed right after, but I think what was your favorite show of the Tim era?
Remember when we did that the WEMF radio show there? I forget where we were playing that night. But
Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh, okay, that's what that was. See, the old noggin ain't what it used to be.
Right?
No?
Yeah, we went to EMF and then we went to Hard Rock Cafe.
And they interviewed us on the air. Me and you,
Yeah.
Tom did the same thing. Remember, he was the guy in the background chirping, except he was on the other side of the glass, which you can't afford yet, I guess. Maybe I know somebody who can get you a piece cheap. But
Ken was a glazer.
yes, a lot of people know what that is.
No.
No.
So anyway,
yeah.
so we did the EMF show. We did an
Yeah,
acoustic
and I thought
on-air
that-
performance.
Right, I remember that too, and I was feeling like, oh my God, this is going really well so far. What am I going to do to F this up? And it really, I don't remember it happening, so it couldn't have been that bad.
Well, you had a
not
moment.
that evening.
No, not that evening. You did drop your stick on the first song, I believe, but you recovered, right?
I was knocked out of my hand by a defensive lineman that I didn't see coming.
I thought it was the midget.
Yeah, you know what? He's big with his among
Stick
his
midgets.
other. They attack me from time to time. I'm the kind of guy that doesn't carry around extra sticks to this to his kit because I try to show off. Oh, I'll never drop a stick, and that's when I get caught. You know.
Well, let's talk about, before we get into the writing spurt, which created Tan Lines and the Horton albums. Let's talk about the show, because this is a Ken classic trait. He poops his pants and he gets little, you know, he gets little pissy pants about moments. So we were playing, Tom. Where were we playing? Where we forgot the snare? Was it PAs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We're playing PAs, and I've got this snare drum that we're rehearsing with. And Ken brought his own snare drum from his house. No, I want to use my snare drum. No big deal. Tom always drove us down in the pickup truck because Ken and I like to drink a lot of beer. And Tom only likes to drink a couple of beers. So he was the driver, and I take my snare drum and
and I had the truck.
and he has the truck. So I put the snare drum in the basement, and we pack up in the truck, and we always travel with roadies back then. Different time, kids. So we get down there, and were we the opening band? Yes, we were the opening band. And what don't we have?
Snare drum. Can I clarify what's
Please.
going on here?
Yeah.
Because I had the snare drum with me when we were loading up here, and we unloaded the snare drum that I refused. I said, "No, we're not using that little freaking thing. We're going to use the one that I brought with me." But that one, it stayed in the car, and we took off without it. You know, it was not like I just didn't come up with one. It didn't complete the journey.
I'm sure our listeners are very glad.
They're on the edge of their seats right now.
The point of clarification was absolutely necessary. So we asked everybody there, who's got a snare drum? Other bands, they're not showing up because nobody's showing up for the first band. Tim and I had to drive down to Mass Ave down in Boston to get the only snare drum they had, which we ended up paying a number $350, $370 for a snare drum. So we could
beautiful drum.
Beautiful drum. I don't even use it anymore. I save it. I put it in glass. Like, that's the snare drum.
It's a monument to all the bullshit that goes on with the band sometimes. You know?
But honestly, a time in my life that I miss more than any other time. Those live shows, even the bad ones, even the one with Britney Spears and the holiday Halloween show where Ken couldn't seem to remember how to hold a stick or keep time with anything. That was still a memory that was great.
It was great for its suckiness. You know, it's a night that I found out that I was in over my head with this stuff for a while, and you had to buckle down. I was down there.
That stuff meaning the beer, the Budweiser.
Well, you know,
what stuff were you in over your head about?
Well, you know, you're
Drowning.
talking about a lot of stuff now, you know, but it could have been anything. But what I do remember is that I was taking it a little bit too easy, you know, and because if you don't focus, that's the kind of shit that happens.
It's true.
You know, and now I got the DVD to prove it, and I get to watch it on Halloween for the last 4 years or whatever the hell it's been. That was a while ago.
It was a while. Yeah, that was like 18, I think. So,
I'd like to think that I've matured since then, but I'm probably wrong. Yeah, probably haven't.
So we went from that, then we went to Tan Lines. I started writing a ton of music. We did the Tan Lines rock opera. We had a bunch of people play on that.
A Night to Remember.
A Night to Remember at McGann's.
Yeah.
And it was, Ken stole the show with his performance. He played drums to start the show, sang a lot of the lead,
Larry.
and sang a lot of lead vocals after the show. Larry stole the show. It was just one of the best shows ever. A lot of friends there. We had, ultimately, I think it was like a 7-8 piece band at different times, not all at the same time, but different people in my life who the record was kind of about and played with it. Johnny Earthquake was not there for the show. Yes, he was. Johnny Earthquake was there for the show, wasn't he?
They opened.
Yes, and Johnny Earthquake opened. Crap. Wow.
Yeah, that was the night.
And he's also on the album, so check that out. And then we went to the Horton records. I went through a breakup, which, you know, sounds, I don't know, easy, but it was a 20-year relationship. So went through a breakup and ended up writing the Horton records about somebody different, not about the breakup, about somebody I dated post breakup, and those records were, I think, our most fun shows for me.
Because you know, the material that we decided to pick for our 45-minute set really blended together well, you know, and the way you'd put the songs in just the right order and we could play them right through nonstop. You know, I barely had time to pick up the sticks I was dropping in.
That was it. There was no pause between songs, no talking between songs, and we went one from the other, from the two Horton records back to back. And
Classically short songs too. Like in the 45 minutes, what did we get? Freaking almost 20 songs.
20 or more songs. Yeah. So these are all 1, 2, 2.5 minute songs at most. And the last song that we ever played live together was a cover. It was a medley from the song Lifting Cars, which was on one of the Hortons, and it was also on an album called Lifting Cars. But it was also melded with Don't Go Breaking My Heart, and Stop Dragging My Heart Around.
Yep.
So we ended up with Stop Dragging My Heart Around. So it's the last song we played as a 3-piece live, which is kind of crazy.
Blows my mind when I think about it.
It is. It's kind of crazy.
But that's been captured on tape too.
Yes,
right?
we've got the Midway Cafe show from that era called Unscathed. We've got the live show at Maggie's Lounge called For Mature Audiences Only. And so that brings us to today. And hopefully you're going to see these three guys. He's off camera. We'll send a picture of him. Playing live again.
I didn't want it to end the way it ended. You know, it's not because of there was anything wrong. It's just that it seemed like if you plan for an ending, okay, hey, you know, look, guys, we're going to have to take a hiatus or whatever, and you play like 3 or 4, you know, the ending is like, you know, it's coming 3 months away. We didn't, it just stopped, you know, and then a sudden stop like that, it takes a while to get going sometimes. So I think that we better get it going. I'm starting to feel it.
So between COVID,
So we're in the getting going stage right now.
we're in the get it going stage. So between COVID and then Ken had a couple setbacks, and it's been a long time coming. For the Wood Floors, we've been recording and writing more than ever in from 2020 to now, which is insane. I think we're officially the 87th album we've done now, and a lot of them, Jimmy Jude, who's supposed to be calling in here soon, he joined the band in 2023. So from 2020 to 2023, I wrote a ton of songs about my fiance and just my kids and where life is now, which was wonderful. But they were mainly acoustic, quiet, solo records where I played everything on them. James Cooney, Jimmy Jude, enters the band, and he's a songwriter. He's the host of the show who's supposed to be calling in. He's on the road tonight doing the Moonlight Mile, and it's occupying way too much of his time. But we have written tons of songs together. It's just been a floodgate has opened with the amount of material that has come out of all different genres and all different styles. So it's been a real highlight for me musically. If we get back together again on the road, Jimmy's obviously going to be part of this, and we're going to have a new set and new material for you. So, Tom, you anything to say before I wrap it?
Time will tell.
Time will tell. Ken,
Wow.
any
I'm just taking in those words first.
Any clothing thoughts?
Actually, I do. I love that shirt. Yeah,
Okay, well-
it looks good on you. If we were having any clothing thoughts, that's what they would be.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, not really. You know, because if I get going on something at this time of night, it could be a closing thought that goes on till midnight.
Okay, so
And then we'd miss Jimmy, and we don't want to miss Jimmy.
Jimmy.
But I just know that there's a lot counting on this. You know, this reunion in the Wood Floors. The world is anticipating it, and we don't want to sell anybody
All three of
short.
them.
Yeah.
Well,
So it was great being on your show, and
it's funny you say that because speaking of the wood floors, the last record I did was a solo record again. I wrote it in a day, 20 songs called UFOs, Under the Wood Floors. Jimmy also did a solo record, Under the Wood Floors, which is going to be released very shortly. But the opening line of the song called Bar Whore is called Standing on the Edge of Nowhere. And I think that's where we're at.
yeah.
So let's hope we're going to be coming to a town near you, to Nowhere Land, USA.
Matter of fact, that could be our first stop. No.
Could be. We could do an acoustic song right now.
I'm looking around the room and I'm like, oh, there's three of us. It sounds like an acoustic set time.
All right, hold on. We're going to pause it. We might do one. All right, Ken. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for chirping.
Oh, yeah.
Standing on the edge of a dream, driving